Sonya accepted, but before that, Naomi cannot touch Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville then slapped Naomi and said, I accept, but was very angry, saying, and you could see Naomi saying, oh, I'm going to beat the shit out of her. This is going to be a good match, and I'm glad this feud might come to an end, so we could see a Naomi heel turn and her join the Bloodline. That's where I think that's going. We then got Sami Zayn coming out for his main event match versus Roman Reigns, and he would call Brock Lesnar out, saying, Brock, come out to this ring. If you help me win, I guarantee you will have an easier time with me than with Roman Reigns at day one. Brock Lesnar was insulted by this. He hated the fact that he thinks he won an easy match, and that would lead to Brock Lesnar hitting, I believe it was five German suplexes, or no, three German suplexes on Sami Zayn, and an F5 his ass through the ring, and Roman Reigns would come out and they would still have the match. He would then hit Sami with a spear, lock in the guillotine. Sami would tap out, and it is official at day one. It is going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship match. I'm excited for that match, and I hope it's the end of their feud because I want to see Jeff Hardy win the Royal Rumble and it be Roman Reigns and Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania. He deserves that. He deserves his last match, in my opinion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for War Games! NXT War Games is one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. I always love War Games, and even as NXT 2.0, I really enjoyed this War Games pay-per-view. There were times where I'm like, okay, you guys are going a little too far with the promos and all that shit, but I was still excited for it. So, War Games kicked off with the Women's War Game match. Team Raquel, which is Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, Kylie Ray, and Cora Jade versus Team Dakota, which is Dakota Kai and Toxic Attraction. The NXT Women's Tag Team Championships of Gigi Dolan and JC Jane with the NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose. And they would have a very great match. It would actually have a fake injury to Cora Jade. Cora Jade would jump off the top of the cage, hit I believe it was not a shooting star press, more of a moonsault off the cage, and would hurt her arm. We would then get Io Shirai pushing it back into place. So that was very good to see. Cora Jade would pick up the win and would make the winning pin. Team Raquel wins this War Games match in a very good War Games match. By the way, the crowd was completely behind Gigi Dolan, chanting for her the whole time. I was actually shocked by that. I didn't think Gigi Dolan was that over. After this, we got a bunch of coming to NXT. This guy, this girl, MSK's new shaman, and Boa saying Mei Ying has passed her spirit into his body and he can't control the power. So, bunch of shit going on backstage during this. And then we got the NXT Tag Team Championship match of Imperium versus Kyle O'Reilly and Vaughn Wagner. Kyle O'Reilly, whose contract is also set to expire with NXT. Kyle O'Reilly would unfortunately take the pin and would lose this match. And Vaughn Wagner would then try to attack Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly would beat the shit out of Vaughn Wagner and would say, dude, I was in the Undisputed Era. I saw that attack coming from a mile away. He would even do the Undisputed Era pose, which I loved. Very good ending to that match. And now we will get a steel cage match on the next NXT. I'm enjoying War Games so far. We then got revealed that the Shaman will be revealed next Tuesday on NXT 2.0. Leave in the comments who you think the Shaman is. I think it's Shawn Michaels. I think that'd be hilarious if it's Shawn Michaels. And then finally, we got a hair versus hair match with Cameron Grimes versus Duke Hudson. Whoever won would shave the other competitor's hair off. I really enjoyed this match. Cameron Grimes and Duke and Duke Hudson have a great in-ring chemistry. They were both really performing as hard as they could to steal the show. They didn't steal the show completely, but it was a great match all around. It's a match you can really enjoy no matter who you are. So, congratulations to Cameron Grimes and Duke Hudson. Great match. Cameron Grimes would pick up the win, start to shave Duke Hudson's hair. Duke Hudson would then make his way out of the ring and would leave with the worst haircut you have ever seen. We then got announced that the next big NXT event will be NXT New Year's Evil, which would take place on January 4th, 2022. We're almost in 2022, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost done with 2021. God, this year went by fast. We then got an NXT Cruiserweight Championship match between Roderick Strong and Joe Gacy. It was very cool to see this, to have someone over 205 try to contend for the title, but Roderick Strong is too good, and he would pick up the win over Joe Gacy. By the way, for those of you asking, Roderick Strong has already signed an extension. He is staying with WWE for a while. So, yay for that. We still get one member of the Undisputed Era. So, Roderick Strong would pick up the win, and then we go to your main event, another War Games! The men's War Games match of Team New School, Braun Breaker, NXT North American Champion, Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Walker with Tony D'Angelo versus Team Old School of NXT Champion Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, and LA Knight. It would actually be called Team Black and Gold versus Team NXT 2.0. In a very good match. It wasn't the best War Games match, but it was a very good one. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa would, for one last time, hit the DIY on Braun Breaker. They would go for the pin. Carmelo Hayes would pull the referee out, and I think that was actually pretty stupid of WWE to do. Braun Breaker should have kicked out, should have done something else, but God, because that's getting go away heat on Carmelo Hayes. Like, the crowd was not chanting, "You suck." They were chanting bullshit. They were chanting a lot of bad things at Carmelo Hayes. So, they better be careful. Otherwise, Carmelo Hayes is, because great heel, don't get me wrong. But he is getting to go away heat very soon. He's getting into Amore heat pretty soon. So, they better be careful here. NXT 2.0 would pick up the win after Braun Breaker would spear Tommaso Ciampa through a table. Very good match. After the pay-per-view, Johnny Gargano would give it a passion promo saying whether this is the last time or not, he's always loved the NXT crowd and they will always be his family. So, we then heard him say he will address his future next Tuesday on NXT. Very good pay-per-view. I really enjoyed this. WWE's last pay-per-view of the year in 2021. Very good pay-per-view. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to your final review of this week. Monday Night Raw for last night's Monday night. Coming from Memphis, by the way, that will come into effect later. We got WWE Champion Big E versus Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. A very good steel cage match. Seth Rollins on the outside, kind of causing a little bullshit on the outside, but what are you going to do? That's Seth Rollins, man. That's Monday Night Rollins. Big E would win by escaping the cage. Big E and Kevin Owens would throw everything they had at each other, including the kitchen sink, man. These two put on a show. I heard people pissed that it was an escape from the cage, that was a door escape, and that's why I didn't like this match. I'm like, what the So you didn't like Kofi versus Dolph Ziggler, you didn't like Big Show versus JBL, there's been Andre the Giant won so many steel cage matches by escaping the door, it is unbelievable. So, screw you for saying that going out of the door is not a good escape. Screw you. After this, Seth Rollins would attack Big E and Kevin Owens. He would hit the stomp on Kevin Owens. and Big E would hit the big ending. But after this, Bobby Lashley would come in and wreck all three guys. I guess we are getting a fatal four-way match at day one. That is the talk from Dave Meltzer, from everyone. It is going to be a fatal four-way match, and I'm excited for that. That is going to make this match even better. After this, we got Women's Tag Team Champions Queen Zelina Vega versus Nikki Ash. ASH. Queen Zelina Vega would pick up the win. She actually tweeted out before Monday Night Raw, and I loved it. I've woken up and I have chosen destruction today. Be careful. She would give a passion promo saying she does not want to defend her tag team championships in Memphis. This town sucks, and she does not want to be here. So, very good promo from her. She would then pick up the win after hitting the Code Red on Nikki Ash. I guess the Code Red is going to be a great little thing. It's going to be a great move, and maybe, just maybe, we are going to get a Becky Lynch versus Zelina Vega sometime down the line, maybe at Fastlane or something. Get that feud. I would like to see that feud for Zelina Vega. After this, a fan asked Nikki Ash if she could get her autograph backstage. The fan then said she wasn't talking to Nikki Ash, and we got a Jerry Lawler cameo. Jerry Lawler came out and would say, hey kids, sorry, happens all the time. This is Memphis. I guess if they're in Memphis, it is contractually obligated for Jerry the King Lawler to show up. So, really like this little cameo. I was very happy. You heard the crowd chanting, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. I love that. I love the King, man. The King is a great guy. I would meet him at WrestleMania 37 in Tampa. I met for a brief, 5-minute talk. One of the nicest guys I think I've ever met in my life. I can't say enough good things about him. After this, we got the RK Bro tournament to declare the number one contenders for the Raw Tag Team Champions. Last time we had a tournament, by the way, it ended with Enzo Amore getting fucking destroyed and his head hitting the bottom rope, causing him to get a concussion. He would be out of action, so I'm not looking forward to another tournament to determine number one tag team contenders. But the Street Profits would defeat AJ Styles and Almost via counter. After the match, Almost would walk away from AJ Styles. Riddle asked AJ what was going on between him and Almost. AJ just claimed it was a miscommunication and this is nothing, and told Riddle if he asked him a question again, he's going to shove that microphone down his throat. So, very good little thing from AJ Styles and Matt Riddle here. After this, we got Damian Priest hosting a United States Open Challenge, which would be answered by Bobby Roode, of all people. Bobby Roode, a former United States champion, and they would have a great match. Bobby Roode and Damian Priest just performed like no others. It was like Bobby Roode was on another level tonight. Even though he would lose, after the match, Dolph Ziggler would then come in and hit a super kick on Damian Priest. I guess this is going to be Damian Priest's next feud. It's going to be versus Dolph Ziggler for the United States Championship. And you know what? I want Dolph Ziggler to win, and maybe Damian Priest goes on to face Big E for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. I think that would be fun to see. We then got a match that, besides the ending, would steal the show, in my opinion. It's hard to steal the show when there's a steel cage match and a Raw Women's Championship and a United States Championship and a tournament on the show, but this match almost did it, and if it wasn't for the ending, it would have. Bianca Belaire versus Dewdrop. If you could find this match, go watch it in its entirety. Great match from both competitors. Amazing performances. I really enjoyed this match. Unfortunately, it would be tainted by the end, of which Dewdrop would walk away and would get counted out. That is the only problem with this. It was a great match. I really did enjoy this match. Both women were hitting everything they can, did everything they can. It stole the show. It stole the show, in my opinion. After this, we got a Miz TV segment where Edge appeared on Miz TV and would challenge The Miz to a match at day one. He would then say, hey, we're both in the ring right now. Let's have a little bit of a preview right now. And Miz would say no and would go out of the ring. Day 1,